Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a tour around kind of what we're doing now. It's that time of year where everything starts warming up and we're starting to bring the stuff down to the plot. Still a lot of work I need to do on this plot, but there's still a lot to be thankful for. I think there's loads of stuff growing. So let me show you what's going on. Okay, we're at the head of the plot here. So the joster berries that I cut down to the ground pretty much have decided to come back. I don't know if they survive this year. I think I might leave them. Just need to keep them under control really. And as I've said, it is the first berry that comes into season. It's the first ripe berry. It's the first one the birds go for. The lilies are doing absolutely fantastic. So we're already getting the flowers starting to come on these now. So it shouldn't be long before we got flowers. And these three pots here are the single seed potato challenge potatoes. I've got a little bit of I don't know, the leaves aren't looking too happy on this, but we'll see how it goes. The rest of them, though, the other two, are looking absolutely fantastic. We'll see what we get anyway. These are the tomatillos that I bought outside. The wind, I think, has been a bit strong on some of these, so I think I'm probably going to need to stake them quite soon. We've already got the flowers on there as well, so we'll probably have some fruit soon. And I've started bringing some of the other pots out that I've potted up. So again, the nice syringia here, or lilac, is doing really well. There's a couple of rogue digitalis in there. I think I might leave them. And then we've got this lovely strawberries and cream Weigelia with absolutely gorgeous flowers on it. Right, let's go into the aubergine house. So I've moved a lot of the chillies up to the polytunnels now, and already this place here is completely full of produce. That's the empty bench where the chillies were. I moved them all up today. I've still got spring onions to go in the ground. All my tomatoes are growing nicely. Just got to keep them going, and then hopefully I'll get some plants I can actually put outside. Like I said, all my tomatoes going outside this year. So these little variegated plants here are the shoe fly, and then I've got some clary sage at the back. More tomatoes over there, and we've just started to get the castor bean plant. They've just started to actually germinate now. So I've probably grown way too many of these. I'm going to pot a few up, I think, and have them around the plot, because they do look really, really good. But I think I've planted quite a few. And my runner beans, doing really well. Planted lots of these, so just need to dig over the ground where these are going to go, and then they can go in. And the small young brugmansias are doing okay. Quite small plants at the moment, but let's see, they'll grow quite quickly now, hopefully. And there's another tamarillo there at the back. I've got a larger one of these. Probably put both of them in a pot somewhere. And the sweet peas are actually already starting to flower. I need to get these out in the ground. Okay. On the ground here, I've got some jicama that I've planted. Again, just waiting for those to germinate. And some more sweet peas in pots here. And this is my potted on white henbane. So already you can see those little spiky hairs that they've got all over them. They end up with almost like a jelly-like substance on them as well, which potentially is the thing that gives them the name stinkweed. But we'll see how that goes. And then here, this is the first year I've actually got flowers off this. This is the kiwi berry. So this is a kiwi fruit that actually gives rise to some little fruit on this. They look and taste like kiwi fruit, or actually they look more like a grape but taste like kiwi fruit. But again, look at the actual flowers on these. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you got that carpel in the middle there. That will be what develops into the developing fruit. So hopefully we get some nice fruit off this year. And the male and female kiwi fruit still making some nice vines. I'm not sure whether they'll do anything this year in terms of fruiting, but we'll see. And we've got the self-seeded nasturtium, which I will definitely pot on into a hanging basket. And the aubergines I've brought down are still doing okay. This was basically light damage from where I had them before. They'll probably just sprout a few more leaves and things like that, so hopefully they'll be okay. And we'll see how that goes. I think there's a rogue chili plant in there as well, so let's take that out there. Oh, it's actually a sweet pepper, Ozark Giant. I think I might have a couple of those. And there's another one there. So yeah, 2 Ozark Giants. So these are both sweet peppers. I shall get them up to the polytunnels at some point shortly. Right, let's go out into the rest of the plot. Right. Okay, so this lovely Wisley Vanilla Nemesia. I'll have these dotted around all over the place because they give some really, really nice vanilla, almost like a fudge smell. And the digitalis are just coming into flower now, so there's a pink one and a yellow one behind it. I think going to be some lovely flowers this year. And the ferns are doing really well as well. I love these painted ferns. I think you'll notice actually though, I've got a lot of work to do in regards to strimming and in regards to my brassica cage, which is an absolute mess. Hopefully when I start digging it out, I think it should be relatively easy, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, again into the poison gardens. Another peach digitalis there. And let's see if I can actually, there we go. So that's the carrots, all doing well, nicely sprouting, and we'll see how that goes. Right, poison gardens and the acanthus, again doing really, really well. I think I actually buried a couple of frog lilies under here. I'm not sure how well they'll do there. This acanthus seems to have taken off big time at the moment. Might have overcrowded everything. Might need to cut that back quite heavily. And the aconitum, again, just starting to throw up these flower sprouts. Should be absolutely fantastic. Although I've got bindweed growing amongst them. There's always a bit of a worry when you're weeding around poisonous plants. You don't want to be touching them too much. Right, we're going to the dahlias. So I've got them covered with this mesh, but I need to make something a bit more substantial, I think, because as you can see there, the dahlias have just started showing their heads, and a couple of places. I think there's a few more around as well. There's another one there. So I'm going to have to, if I can, make something to stop the pigeons from getting at those. Anything with a bit of a succulent shoot, they're going to end up going for. Right, we'll go into the other poison garden. Again, I've got lots of weeding to do, but here's the other poison garden. The I don't know whether I showed you this a while back. So this is one of the lords and ladies Arum italicum. So it's the lord and ladies plant. So again, this is a toxic plant, common to the UK. You get these variegated ones, but you also get ones with just a green leaf. And that central bit in the middle will be what turns into these. I don't know whether you can see on the picture there, the little red berries. But I've got lots of things growing in here, including Jerusalem artichokes. Other name is for these is sunchokes. So again, they grow like mad. You leave one in the ground and you end up with another load growing. They always say once you've planted Jerusalem artichokes, you probably never get rid of them. Big mistake I probably made at that point. I think these are self-seeded corn cockle. I might be completely wrong. I think that's what they are. We'll see what happens when they get the flowers on them. And again, the aconitum doing really, really well. This little purple squirrel, I think it was called, got some really, really pretty flowers on them already. The wild garlic is dying off a bit now. I've had a few of these. It's just gone to seed now. And I think all these little things down the bottom here are probably self-seeded wild garlic. So we'll try and take some of those out and put them in a few other places, probably in pots because they do spread quite readily. And the pot of the euphorbia, I mean the euphorbia is now going to seed. Again, these absolutely gorgeous little flowers. They do really, really well. Really, really pretty plant, again, for something that potentially, if you get the sap on you, can cause quite a bit of damage. Okay, let's go on. So, the garlic, still doing well. Got some nice strong stems on those. They've been there probably since, I can't remember when it was, January, I think. I'll have to check my videos, see when I put them in. But yeah, they're doing well. All bar that Lautrec. I won't be doing those again. The hostas. There we go, slug damage at its worst. Again, need to try and get rid of some of these slugs and things. Although the one that I've got with a stalk around isn't quite so bad. Only the bits where really the edge of the pot. Okay, into the wild garlic. Oh, it's not wild garlic, sorry, these are the garlic chives. So my wife pulled a few of these nice little leaves up here, thinking they were just grass. So I said, did you actually smell them? And then she smelt them and said, oh, I'm pulling up your garlic chives. So lesson learned, I guess. And the cola plant here, the smell of cola here is absolutely gorgeous. It's again part of the wormwood family. Same family you get the absinthe from. I think they call it southernwood, I think, the absinthe one. But okay, so this is the nice pineapple guava, still nicely in its pot, all doing well. And we'll move around. Again, a couple of josterberry bushes. Again, just need to keep them under control. And the strawberries that the wife has nicely managed for me. Needs a bit of weeding, but I'll get round to that shortly. And these were the St. Patrick's Day potatoes. Absolutely brilliant. The growth on them is fantastic. So hopefully we'll get some decent potatoes out of those. Right, we'll have a look into the new build. So I've got plenty of bought lettuce to go in the ground. I just haven't got around to growing any lettuce for myself from seed. I've got plenty of seed, I just haven't got it in the ground yet. The laburnum is doing really well. All that time when I said it's not really doing anything, but it's actually starting to take off a bit now. Again, slugs have been in here, or snails. They get everywhere. Okay, and then the start of my little vertical garden. So we've got a mixture here. So fenugreek or methi, some nice cotton lavender. Some of these I've grown for the smell. Some of them I've grown for the fact you can actually use them in your food and things. So this one up here is just for a smell. So this is Indian trailing mint. Again, smells really, really good, almost like a spearmint, kind of what you get in toothpaste almost. But the actual smell of it when you walk in is quite nice. And curry plants here. So loads of more that I can actually put in here, and I probably will do. I've got all my basils eventually to put in these when I bring them down. The melons that I planted a short time ago are really doing awful, which has basically led me to plant some more, which I've got in the polytunnel at the moment. I'm going to get them to germinate from there and then just see where we go. But yeah, we've ended up with this, I don't know, they've, what they call it, they've damped off basically, some of them. But I'm getting some new leaves off these as well, so some of these will be okay, and we can get those into some hanging baskets. So I've always had a love for pelargoniums. So these are the pelargoniums that, again, the flowers are really nice, but the actual scent of the leaves, more than anything, is really good. I mean, I've got some cola flavors here, and then there's some that smell like orange. And yeah, real mixture of different scents in that lot. The tamarillo, so this is the larger plant I was talking about. Again, it's in a tiny little pot. I just, again, didn't get around to potting it on, but I'll pot that on. And then the final one will be into a large pot with its friend. This plant here I picked up at the weekend. I've walked past it a couple of times and I thought in the end I bought it. It's actually an olive plant, and it's actually the olive herb, and it actually smells and tastes like olives. I don't particularly like this taste of olives, but I don't mind cooking with olive oil. But maybe this will be different. I don't know. I'll try it and see. Again, the rest of the herb garden here has gone absolutely mad. The mint, as you would expect it to go, has gone really good. Lots of different flavoured mints there. The parsley is doing well, and the variegated thyme and things like that, and sage. And I've picked up again this one here, which is a strawberry mint. It is proper strawberry. I just love that kind of the smells that you get off some of these plants, even before you eat them. I mean, that mint's supposed to be really, really good in ice cream and desserts. Time to get the cosmos out. Again, I've been a bit late here. All of these will again be potted up this year. I'm not putting anything in the ground in terms of cosmos because they do seem to take over quite a bit. But I should hopefully be able to get the marigolds out and about around where I've planted the chillies this year in the polytunnels. Hopefully will give me a bit of protection from the black flies and aphids and things. And over the back there is a nice cerinthe or honeywort. Again, doing really, really well. But again, I'll put those in hanging baskets again, I think. We'll see how that goes. The brassicas, again, they're all getting to the stage where I need to get them out in the ground. The frostbite kale has already started getting these lovely white leaves. They're well watered in there, so they'll be okay for a little bit. But as I say, I need to try and get these in the ground just so I can actually get proper plants out of them. That will mean me sorting out that brassica cage quite sharpish, really. Now, I'm not sure what that is, because that doesn't, to me, look like a kale. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. It doesn't look like a kale. Looks like a weed. Okay, I'll try and figure that out. All right. Oh, the other potato challenge potato. I think that's probably a lost cause. I don't think there's anything coming up in that. I was in two minds whether there was actually a chit on it, so that's probably why. Okay, right. we'll go around the yeah, we'll go around the top. So again, lots of digging to do. So this is the area that I'm going to actually put my beans in this year. I've started the run of beans, as you've seen. I've started some of the other beans inside the polytunnel. Again, need to get this dug over already. Plenty to do. And this will be where I plant these tomatoes out this year. Again, the ground needs a little bit of work, needs a little bit of nutrients to it as well. It's looking a bit grey. We'll see how that goes. My chard is now going to seed, but again, it's done really, really well. And the self-seeded spinach actually might be chard. I think it started off as spinach, but got these massive leaves now, and bindweed gets everywhere. I generally try and break it where I can, just to try and kind of head it off at the pass a little bit. You break that growing point, you are kind of keeping it in check a little bit. But don't particularly like the smell of bindweed on your hands. It's very kind of earthy and leafy. Again, self-seeded or self-runned raspberries from my neighbour's plot here, which are all nicely well kept. Now I just need to do the same with these, I think, but we'll see how that goes. And we've already started getting the flowers on the blackberry, so again, hopefully we'll get some decent fruit off this year. There's plenty of flowers there. Absolutely gorgeous blackberries these are. Massive, ginormous things. So hopefully we'll get some nice, decent fruit for some decent jams and things. Right, you can see there I've put the cage back up. So that took me a whole probably Saturday to actually put back up and get ready for the new season. But the rest of it, again, I need to dig over, make sure everything is all nicely fed, make sure that it's got some manure and stuff in the ground. And we've already started getting some of the mulberry fruit on here. So these developing fruit things, they look really, really weird when they're growing, almost like little alien fruit. But yeah, amazing taste though. If you get a chance to taste mulberry, go for it, because it's really, really tasty. Right, now we'll go into the polytunnels. So we have, okay, before I show you that, I've got myself a nice stand for my hose. You can see it's been fixed in about 4 or 5 places. I think that's the heat, because I've been storing it in the polytunnel. So I've invested in a nice stand, so hopefully that will stop the heat damage. The roselle, again, seems to have been attacked by slugs. I did put some slug pellets actually in there. I didn't want it to kill the roselle. That's all I've got this year. Again, it's not done particularly well. And the pond that I made, it's solar panels actually running the pumps. So in this nice heat that we've had, these have been quite nice when the sun comes out. I'm going to try and set it up like a waterfall. So I'm going to feed a pipe from one of the pumps up into this green tray. So it actually feeds the green tray, which will then fall off back into the bucket. So it'll be like a waterfall effect, but we'll see how that goes. I just need the right size tubing for that particular pump, but I've not been able to find one yet, but I will do. One thing you can do for the wildlife, fill up a tray with stones. It's time that the bees are coming out now. So bees do need water. Like other insects, they do land around water. One of the things, unfortunately, that happens is when they land in water where they can't take off again, a lot of the time they end up drowning. So putting a couple of trays out where you've got some nice stones in there that the bee can land on and then actually have access to the water is always a good idea. Right, we'll go into the first polytunnel. I've thrown a few things in the ground, so that was a branch off a chilli that I just thought might root if I stuck it in the ground, but I don't think it will. It's probably died. And then this is a nemesia that's come out of a hanging basket. Again, I'll just put it in the ground for now, and it will go back into a basket hopefully this week. Again, all of the weeds in here, I'm going to need to weed quite heavily in here. And the glory lily is doing really, really well. Again, we've had a bit of slug damage to one of them, but it's been fine. I've already put in some support because I know it's going to get quite big, and I'm going to have to probably tie it into the polytunnel, and we'll see how that goes. Right, so these are all the seed trays that I brought down with different things in, so ranging from beans to sunflowers to kind of onions. I've got a couple more tray things of onions there. There's some beetroot in there, and again some more of the melons because they didn't do particularly well. I've also planted some acacia, hopefully to see how that goes, and nasturtium. So these bottom ones here are some more nasturtium that I've planted, so they should hopefully go for the hanging baskets. So in terms of chilies, the ones I've brought down so far, these are what's left to plant. The uchi cream, I think I might put into, I've got one of the chili grows. I might put the uchi cream in there, but I've also got a ricotta pepper that I've always wanted to try and overwinter. So that might be the other contender. So one of the uchi creams, I mean, that looks a really nice one. And one of the, although that looks beautiful, that one's absolutely gorgeous. I've got another one at home as well. So we'll try those in the chili grow. The other thing I'm going to do in here, everything, I've planted up the other polytunnel pretty much. I'll show you that in a minute. There's a nice self-seeded pak choy there. That's almost ready to take. So all the weeds in here, again, I need to get rid of all those. And this is where all of these types of chili will be. So these are all the more habanero kind of type of chili. So these are the Chinense kind of chili, which will be planted in here, as are most of those. And I've got a few more through there. I'll show you that in a second. The other thing I need to do again is plant all of the numbered chilies. So this was these, what I term them Russian roulette chilies from the Red Dragon Seeds freebies. So there's probably a mixture of different chilies in there as well. I'm going to just plant them in order inside this polytunnel at some point, probably over the next week or so, because I'm going to need to try and make some room in here so I can actually start planting those, which will mean I need to probably move those out into things like the new build and stuff. So again, those pelargoniums I showed you earlier, they'll be potted up into hanging baskets, and also some other trays around. And this is kind of what I've planted up so far then. So this is mostly annum varieties and mostly sweet peppers as well. So this side is kind of the sweet pepper side. So you've got things like King of the North, Criolla de Cochina, and then you can see those variegated ones there. You've got Candy Cane and Blot right there. So candy cane to the left. You can see I've planted them quite close. I've done this every single year, and every single year people go, you planted them too close. And I've gone, yeah, but I get some really decent produce from these most years. There's very few times where I've had issues really. Main issues I've had in here is ants. And I'm probably going to have that same thing every single year. Reason being because red ants are very, very difficult to get rid of, and I've had red ants in here for probably quite a while. So one of the things I've tried to do to try and get rid of them is I've planted some pennyroyal. So that is a inedible kind of mint that is a bit of a trailer, so it will spread a little bit, but as long as you keep control of it, it's generally going to be okay. But again, ants aren't supposed to like hard, harsh smells, so hopefully this should hold them back a little bit. I doubt it. All the issues I've had previously in the past with ants, they usually take a few of the plants, they burrow underneath them. They make air pockets around the roots, and then you end up getting the plant basically starved of nutrients and dying. But if I'd planted 2 plants in here, I'd still get the same issue, rather than the amount I've planted. One of the things you can do is you plant some for nature and some for yourself, and hopefully I've planted enough that this should be quite a few. So these here at this end are all the space chilies. So pretty much everything, again, I've done it in order, H1 all the way up to H10, which is the largest kind of type over one side. And again, you can actually recognize some of these chilies already just from the leaves. So Thunder Mountain has this kind of variegated, almost serrated leaf. And if you see Buena Malata, you'll know that it's got loads and loads of little, what do they call it, little stems and things coming off the main stem. Seems to be a very busy plant. So this area here is an area I've just designated for the kind of darker plants, so the darker chilies. I wasn't really trying to segregate, it's not the kind of person I am, but that's kind of the way it's happened. So you'll notice that all of these ones have got this really dark, nice foliage, and in some cases these really dark stems. So we've got the Blood Ghost chili here, and the 7-pot purple mamp here. So again, there's a couple of habanero types in here, but I have tried to keep mostly anums in here. Again, over the other side there is some more of the darker varieties. So these were the vampire chilies. So we've got Vampire, which is over here, and then Count Dracula, which seems to be darker than the others, and then this here is Nosferatu. So all 3 varieties of vampire chili I've managed to get at least some decent plants for this year. So that's pretty much this area is planted up. I think I'm going to probably add some marigolds in the mix in here, maybe stick some pots in, that sort of thing, and some hanging baskets just to try and get the bees in. The chilies don't need bees to pollinate. They generally will do pretty well with a shake. So if you're going past the plant, give it a little shake if it's got flowers on, and you'll get some produce. Bees do help things along the line, but again, they're not really needed for most of these solanum species. Even aubergines, if you give the plant a shake, it will set fruit. So that's where I am with most things at the moment. So like I say, I've got a lot to do. Got a new hat. It's actually folded my ears. I wonder why that was hurting a little bit. Let's stick it inside the hat. There we go. So yeah, this was from Malvern. If you get a trip to Malvern, absolutely fantastic place to go and see. Loads of different people, all with the same views as yourself. If you like plants, you end up probably spending way too much, but there we go. It's just one of those things. Right, so that's again just a tour, a quick tour around what I'm doing at the moment. Still loads I need to do. I'm actually finding bits of plastic kicking around here left, right and centre. I don't know whether there was a plastic bit on the new tape I put on. Not sure. Maybe. Yeah, anyway, so I've got, as I say, one of the polytunnels is already pretty much planted up. Just a little bit of room for a couple of extras. I do have the chilies for the other polytunnel to go in, and I still probably have about 3 trays worth of other chillies at home that I need to bring down. And I need to bring them down this week because, again, space is becoming a massive premium here. So we'll see you on the next video. So until then, all the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.